All right, what is up? Welcome to Spoiler Kings. My name is Stan Kramer, Brandon over here, Brian the Grizzly, and we got Alfredo Panda Bear with us. What's up, everyone? Appreciate you guys coming in, hanging out with us. But we are gonna talk about and review the sequel, Wicked for Good. Just came out this weekend. The big blockbuster, as Brian predicted perfectly with that.
There's a lot of money being spent on that boy.
Yeah.
a quarter of $1 billion.
Yeah.
In one weekend.
Yeah.
$250 million in one weekend. What the hell?
Yeah. So yeah, we'll talk some box office at the end. We'll talk some Rotten Tomatoes at the end. But we're gonna get to our likes, our dislikes, our ratings as well. But before we get into that, Brian, you got a quick rundown of what this sequel is about?
Definitely. Now demonized as the Wicked Witch of the West, Elphaba lives in exile in the Ozian Forest, while Glinda resides at the Palace of Emerald City, reveling in the perks of fame and popularity. As an angry mob rises against the Wicked Witch, she'll need to reunite with Glinda to transform herself and all of Oz for good.
Yeah.
Did she retransform herself to good? Like, she
yeah,
was always good, right?
yeah. Wait till we get to my negatives. Never talk about that.
No. Even that what you're portraying and what the images you're saying.
So yeah, we'll start off with our likes. We'll go Brandman, Fredo, Brian, and me. We'll go around the horn. So Brandman, what you like about the Wicked for Good?
I think my favorite thing about this one was Cynthia Erivo herself. This was, as far as I'm concerned, she was the MVP of the movie. I think if not for her, a lot of this wouldn't have worked. You know, and say whatever you want about her, eccentricities, but when it comes to acting and singing, you can't really deny her talent. Really, like she stood out. I thought that the set design, a lot of the props, the CG worked. It really kind of had that it maintained that whimsical feel that the first one had. That kind of worked. I thought that those were like my things. I liked the tone it set kind of right out of the gate. And the music, I kind of felt you know what, I'm gonna save that for a couple minutes, but yeah, those were like my main things that worked.
Okay. What about you, Alfredo? What you like about it?
I almost agree with what Brandman says. I really like the costume design, the setting, the whole graphics and all that. It was really nice, really good. Um, I really like how they Cynthia was really, really good. Was it Cynthia Erivo? Was it?
Yeah,
Erivo.
She was really good, and she was actually the blockbuster of it, which is wicked. It's talking a story about what happened behind the scenes and why what happened. I like the acting. Like once again, I don't like musicals, but this is one movie I saw twice in 3 days with my family. My daughter, my wife, they both love it, and same thing with Wicked. I watched it when it first started. I'm like, okay, yeah, it's a musical, whatever. But then the more I think about it, and the more I watched it, I'm like, okay, I can mess with it. I can't wait for part two. And this is someone that is like, I don't like musicals at all, you know. Um, yeah, I mean, I think everything from Jeff Goldblum to the Flying Monkeys, the CGI was great. I was kind of looking when we watched the movie the second time. I was kind of looking if there's a little quirks or miscues, something like was it Mark Ruffalo when he was in the Iron Man suit, with the small head and nothing matched up
Oh
or something
man,
like that.
yeah.
Like bad
I was
CGI
looking
kind of
for
thing.
I was looking for little things like that, but I didn't see any. So they did a great job with it. The storyline was awesome. Yes, it didn't match up to what we grew up on in Wizard of Oz. I understand that, but it's it still works out for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. What are you, Brian?
All right, so I think it started off with a bang. I thought the opening scene just was great, and then when you finally see the Wicked Witch again or whatever when you want to say it, Elphaba, she was doing an amazing job. Can you imagine doing guerrilla warfare and being alone and doing all this stuff and fighting for these animals, fighting for what you know is supposed to be good, and knowing that what's going on with the with the wizard. And I thought all that was fire. And then honestly, as much as I could talk about Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo, when they're on screen together, I'm not talking about the words, just the chemistry between them
Yep.
is electric. So like you literally feel like there's something they're playing off each other so well. I don't necessarily like all the words and all the dialogue that was being said and what the whole point of it was, but every time they're on screen together, you felt it. You really did. Even when they're upset at each other, even when things were going wrong, when Prince Fiero like chooses Elphaba, like it still you felt like this rivalry that it was playful. It still was respectful. Like man, she was mad. She was mad, but when she was attacked Elphaba, but Elphaba they didn't do anything dirty. It still was understandable. I just thought it was really well done. I love the duets. I think Cynthia Erivo is an amazing singer. Her voice is special. Like,
yeah.
And I'm not saying Ariana Grande is not special because I don't want to say because I'm giving one, not saying that she's not, but Cynthia Erivo is, good Lord, special. Like, man, you can sing whatever you want to sing and it sounds good. And I think they did a good job overall, even trying to fit kind of in the movie. I enjoy the ending. Oh, and the twist they had with the wizard. I mean, I knew it was there, right? But still liked it. I wanted to see it and make you really feel like a total terrible person. So there's a lot to like about the movie. I don't, I want you to know I liked a lot of this movie.
Okay. Yeah, and for me, I'm obviously right there with you guys. Cynthia Erivo is like you said, something special. Like she, man, like she can sing, and it felt like effortlessly too. She's just like, "Lo, let me just hit this crazy high note and make it sound perfect." But yeah, I mean, the set design was great. It's starting right off of like, oh, she's the Wicked Witch. She's the one everyone's afraid of. But the set design was great. Everything like that. I really, really liked the Wizard song, which Jeff Goldblum was like, "They Call Me Wonderful" or whatever. I don't know the name of it, but that one. Oh, because I'm like, oh shit, this is real life. Like, fucking, this is a song Trump can sing, and it would make sense. Like legit. Like
oh shit.
Because it took like real, and then also him being from our world, makes sense too, because he's he's a grifter politician, or he was a grifter. I don't know if he was a politician, and he was a grifter magician or whatever.
He was making politics, man. He was
making politics.
He was 100% was,
So yeah, but Jeff Goldblum was fun in this one, being the bad guy. He's always a very entertaining villain.
Was he really the bad guy? Was he the main bad guy?
No, I think it was
no, he wasn't the main villain.
It was that girl, Madame Morble, I believe.
Yeah, Madame Morble. Yeah, she was definitely bad.
Yeah, Michelle Yeoh's character.
Michelle Yeoh, exactly. That's what I said.
Yeah. But man, yeah. I mean, aesthetically, it was exactly what I expected, and Cynthia and even Ariana was really great at singing too. It's like, but like you said, like them together on screen was so great. Like, they
played off each other very well.
Yeah, you could tell all those cringy interviews they did together, and the marketing is like, okay, like they learned how to really go off one another. You know, yeah, highly recommend to watch some of those interviews because man, you'll
Prepare
laugh.
Prepare to cringe.
Yep. Yep. Oh man. Yeah. Cool. I think that's about it for our likes. Let's jump right into our negatives. Some of the issues we had with it. I'm sure this is gonna be a lot longer of a segment. Brandman, what you not like about this movie?
A lot of it felt flat. I
Mhm.
think that the pacing wasn't as good as the first movie.
Yeah.
It felt a lot longer
That's
than it
fair.
really was. Yeah.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, there were parts where it dragged. It couldn't like figure out where it wanted to go, and as a result, like the movie itself suffered. If
Isn't
that
that
makes sense,
weird for something to drag and be rushed?
right? Mhm.
Yeah.
That's very weird. You know, like, ugh.
Yeah, it just didn't have as much focus as the first one did, I thought.
Mhm.
I thought that yeah, some of the stuff with like Dorothy and the rest of the characters from the Wizard of Oz, it almost felt just kind of squeezed in there with not enough context. Um yeah, it it just lacked focus and direction for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Makes
Okay.
sense.
Anything else? What about it?
Those were that was my main thing. I just kind of kept getting distracted and kind of taken out of it by the way that it happened to drag at times.
Mm-hmm.
Or what parts do you
Okay.
think it was dragging?
Um, huh. If I'm being honest, shortly after the opening scene where you see where what Elphaba's been doing for X amount of time, after that, I just kind of everything forward probably until Elphaba's sister got crushed by a house. It just kind of it just kind of dragged. It just I was just kind of taken out of it.
Okay.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. What were you afraid of? Some issues you had with the movie?
Um. So I was growing up with The Wizard of Oz, right? So it came out when I was 3 years old. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not that old.
Yeah, I was gonna
But
say no, the maths, guys. The maths.
um, no. So I grew up with The Wizard of Oz. I always watched it when I was a kid. It didn't match up to the storyline now. Like I grew up with the ruby red slippers. The slippers weren't white. I grew up with the all four face the witch, not just Dorothy getting captured and being trapped and all that stuff. And there was a lot of what ifs, you know. One of the what ifs, not what ifs, but it was a lot of questions like, for example, where I mentioned she's paraplegic, and how does she feel hot or heat from the thing? And then the other one I had a question was she was trapped in a cellar or something or in a box, and she escaped to wet, to pour water on the witch. Which
She set that up though. She set the whole thing up because she remember she had the bucket of water already there for her. She
how
knew
does
what
she
was going on.
escape? They did not once like did she take off the padlock and ran away and get the
I didn't
broomstick
see her
and
put a
set up?
padlock on it.
Exactly.
It wasn't a
So
padlock.
you mean
She
to tell
just
me she was there all that time talking to Ariana or Glinda and like she did not hear through a thin paper box? And then all of a sudden, like, okay, now Galinda's gone. Now I could go, oh, what's this? A bucket of water. I know it was a setup because that cloth that she read from the monkey that gave her the cloth, it said on there, you know, stand in the spot, there's a hidden trap door, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sure there was something
No, here's the
Something
problem.
behind it.
You know what the trapdoor was? The same cellar that Dorothy was in. It's
Was it?
that.
No, was it?
So
I,
it was so
I don't.
Was it?
we didn't see it. So because you don't see her, you see, but where it is, where that drop, where they're knocking is the same place she opened up the door, but she couldn't see inside because it was dark. There's no lights in there.
I thought she was in a box. I don't know. It
So
looked like it looked like a box.
she pulled up the cellar and she threw it in the cellar.
Okay.
Yeah, because they had
You know,
like the POV of like looking up, like from
Yeah.
Dorothy's point of view. You know,
Right.
So this is imagine it's a stage, and
It's
you
underneath.
opened up
Yeah.
like it was a magician, and you opened up the
Right.
stage, you threw it underneath. Well, where Cynthia dropped was also underneath the stage.
I see.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, that's there's a lot of stuff
I don't
in
think it's a problem.
just read the book and just informed me. Well, the ruby red slippers should have been white, but back then they couldn't show enough of the shoe, so
I
that's
thought
why
it
they
was in
changed it
color.
to red.
I thought
Right.
it was because it was in color, and they needed something that was going to pop with the color.
Yeah. So I mean, it's little things like that. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing major. Overall, I still like the movie. If we go see it again, which I think we are, but we'll see.
Yeah. Okay. What about you, Brian? Some issues you had?
Okay, so I got a few things. It felt. I felt like they were rushing certain parts and they're dragging the other parts. So, like the description of their days was really dragging out, and there was no reason to drag it out as long as they were doing. When she was talking about going here and then going here, and then we're gonna go to the yellow brick road and all that stuff. That was dragging. Okay, because it was like at school points, like get to the point. Even with then there's other parts where you started things with the narrative, like you started up with this plot and never finished it. Like you just never went back to it. So there's things that actually happened that they never went to fix. So I had problems, and I feel like some scenes were bloated and longer than it needed to be because we already got the point of what's going on, and the other scenes that are just rushed so much. And I was like, well, I would, but it's a timing thing, and there's things like I think someone said that Elphaba in the play, I believe she has her sister actually walk.
Yeah, I think my version said that.
And that's a big part of the play. And instead, she just was flying and she fell back into her chair. That seemed rushed, but that was a very important scene, right? But there's other things where I'm seeing them, on the yellow. The yellow brick road for forever and dealing with all that stuff. And I'm like, okay, so I feel like they could have trimmed some pieces, but that's just what you're gonna do. It's not like this huge problem. It is what it is. I do believe some of the transitions were like just kind of like going from scene from place to place when you're going from character to character was going kind of didn't go smoothly. Just was not a smooth transition in a lot of places. But once again, that's directing and cutting up of a movie. That's not necessarily the movie itself. The movies that probably not have the movie. There was no need to do a love triangle.
Yeah.
There's no need at all. There was literally no need at all. And I don't like the idea that women have to have this guy they're fighting over. You could have done the same thing with the Scarecrow and the Prince and whatever you want without making it this love triangle. Even he says, I deny it, because they had other triangles too, because her sister, was in love with the what's his name, Bach, and then Bach's in love with Glinda. I feel like that was too much of it. I don't like, and it's because you've seen all these young girls seeing these things. You don't need a guy to be fighting over. Why are these two girls that have this unbelievable connection fighting over a guy? I just don't like that idea. There's things that I don't want them to understand, especially if it has nothing to do with the plot. Really, it's one of those things like if it didn't happen, you don't have to worry about it again. So like, why are we doing that?
Well, it felt like the love story was like forced in there to give a reason for Glinda to do what she did, but I'm like, but that's not good, and that's not a good reason. It's like, oh well, we have to do this so she could do this. I was like, that's no, like, I don't. So yeah, sorry.
No, I agree. But it just, and then I felt like even with us all knowing Elphaba being this wonderful, wonderful character, I mean, really, it seemed like they're still making her decisions seem like they're bad still. Like, and I hated that idea that when you're being selfless and you really are doing these things for other people and being torn down, it still seemed like we're still trying to say that her decisions were bad. And that was not, it's hard to watch movies like that because so now I have a girl who's fighting over boys, that has a great connection with her, this other female character, that now, all her decisions are bad, and then we already have the colorism stuff in there, right? So like it's a lot of stuff that I find very cringy in those type of things, especially me being a father of Black kids, so like there's things that don't mesh with me well. That's just all. And I understand. So like there's things that my daughter told me she liked the movie, but she didn't like it as much as the first one because she didn't feel a connection to the characters.
Mm-hmm.
And that's and that's problematic to me. Like, so I mean, there's just issues. I thought they could have done few other things that were better, that would have been make a lot more sense for us in the story, and you could have been more structured. And I would have enjoyed the movie more if they would have did that.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to point something out. Maybe we're probably looking at it the wrong way because Brian, I do agree with you 100%. But however, it's maybe what the storyline was probably looking at is like, don't look at the person where they look at the outside. Look how they are in the inside. Because there's a line in that movie where it says, where she tells them, um, look at me how I am, not how I look, or something like that.
Dude, you
So
need to
that
talk about
tells you that
another
that
scene.
shows
That's bad.
that shows little girls like no matter this guy is ugly or this girl is ugly, she's a beautiful person.
No,
You know,
F that. Because and that's another problem I had with the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's beautiful in herself, and someone who really loves her will see her beauty. No matter, she's actually beautiful. She's literally looks beautiful. So because it's not by your standards beautiful, it's not just I'm pretty on the inside. Fuck that. That's not what. So you are beautiful. So
yeah,
the fact that he's the person who's in love with you saying, "Oh, I see a different way. I'm looking at it just not just with my eyes. No, with my eyes, you're beautiful."
right,
Mm-hmm.
I hate that. Like, what are we doing?
yeah.
Like, and
I'm just
that's your love. That's your real love. Oh my, I'm not looking at it with just my eyes. No, you are beautiful. I'm looking on the outside from the movie from my seat. Like, hey, she look beautiful to me. What you talking about? She green? Who cares?
right.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's your love of your life, and he doesn't see that. Then he's probably the wrong one.
Yeah. And that I was gonna say that was like an issue. One of the issues I had with it too was this like, oh, but you're pretty on the inside, and that's what I really like. It was like, what? like I really love your inner beauty. It was like, but I'm ugly on the outside. Nah, it's okay. I can get over that. Like I was like, what? It was like, okay, like that's kind of messed up, to think,
I mean, she's not a
but
monster like with an ear over here and an eyeball over here. Like, what are we
yeah,
talking about? Like,
yeah,
her skin
she's
is green.
just green.
She has a little bit wider of a nose. She had black features. You know what I'm saying? Like, and she's looked green. And we're saying, oh, but I'm not looking at you with only my eyes. Your beauty is already there. You are beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't care what anyone's telling you. You're beautiful, and that's what should have been highlighted. I don't want any guy who says you're gonna do all this stuff for me. I'm not just worried about how it's not just about my looks. Don't get me wrong, it's not just about my looks, but you look beautiful. And you should be confident in that. And there's things like you should always be highlighting that confidence part. And especially with little girls watching it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry.
I agree. No, I agree 100% with stuff like that, because a lot of this movie gave really bad depictions on how people should act, and that was like, especially towards the end. The end, was that. But before I get into that, the music was not as good as the first one. The songs were overall not as good. Singing was great. Like the actual performance of the songs were good. I just feel like the first one had like songs where even me who never seen the play, I was like, I heard that song before. I heard this song before. This one, I'm like, I don't think any of these really like ring the bell for me with when it comes to the songs for it. But there you go. Got a good night for Fredo.
Oh, good night, baby.
Oh man, that's cute. But yeah, so I mean, that was like one thing. I was like, oh, the songs aren't as good. They're still good. They're just not as good, or not as memorable, I should say. So mainly the side characters. The reason why some of these guys were mad and joined Dorothy were kind of like, like the Cowardly Lion. Like, oh, she took that was the dumbest reasoning.
She took me out of my
She took me out of my cage, and
I
I wasn't
agree.
able to struggle. And since I didn't struggle, I'm now afraid of everything. What? This is dumbest.
I agree with that.
On top of that, it wasn't even her. It was fucking Fierro who did it. Like, he's the one. Well, like she stole him, but like he's the one. He's like, oh, I'll take him to a good place. Obviously, you didn't, man. You threw him off to the curb. Like, what the hell, man? Like,
took him there, put him in the zoo, and they're like, "Hey, it's a new good place." Like, what are we doing, guys?
It's like she saved me from my cage. Yeah, but even that idea is like, oh, she saved me from my cage, and I'm mad at that. I was like, okay, the scarecrow, not scarecrow, the Tin Man had probably the most legitimate reason to be mad, even that whole how that went down. I hate when characters do like what her sister did, was like, oh, here, use this magic book. I'm gonna start saying shit that I have no idea, and then when everything goes to crap, it's your fault. I was like, what? No one told you to read my book. I was like, you're stupid, But it kind of plays into
no, don't do it. No.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of plays into like, because the sister was kind of coddled a lot of her life, so she kind of like got whatever she wanted in a sense from her dad. So you can or whatever, but I still hate when people do that. It's like, it's your fault. I was like, you to read my book. Like,
no, Nessa, it's your fault.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
100%. Yeah, and then but yeah, the Tin Man had the most legitimate reason. Like, he was pretty pissed. I mean, one, he already fell for the propaganda of like her being evil, and then that happening, I was like, okay, I get it. Like, you're a Tin Man, but and then like even the Scarecrow was like really, that was the only way you can save him. There's no other way you can save him. Like, you couldn't like make say everyone else into Scarecrows. Just saying.
It was like Fantastic Four. Let's move the planet instead of moving the problem.
Yeah, exactly. So there's like things like that where I was like, and then none of them besides Fierro gets paid off. Like, you don't know what happens to the Tin Man, the Cowardly Lion. I mean, you know what happens in the Wizard of Oz, but here you're kind of like, well, you're still a coward and you're still a Tin Man. I mean, maybe he's happy because she's dead. But that might be enough. But some of the biggest issues for the ending for me was, a lot of people were mad that the ending was because like Elphaba isn't like redeemed. She doesn't become the good guy, or doesn't become the hero. I'm like, they said so. All this was very predictable. Everything was set up in the first one. Like the dad, Goldblum being the dad, that was set up in the first one. I mean, you hear
saw
Goldblum
the green.
talk. saw the green thing. You hear
saw
his
the green
voice.
thing. We knew that he
Yeah.
was the dad.
Yeah. I mean, even the
the
way
noses,
it
boy.
ends,
Look at the noses.
right? I mean, there's even a line where she's like, "Oh, I had a vision or a dream where like all of Oz is celebrating and it's around me." So like they get into stuff like that. So a lot of it's predictable. The main issue I had with it was the wizard gets off scot-free. I mean, he's one of the biggest reason why all of this is even going down. He just literally floats away on a balloon. I was like, cool, consequences, I guess, right? The other chick, the underling, she gets put in jail, so I guess she kind of gets what's coming to her.
Madam Marble.
Madam Marble, yeah. But then the whole thing with what happened?
No, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, but I mean the whole thing with Elphaba being like the minority, like the only person in the world who's green. She is the minority, just her. Being the scapegoat. And then meanwhile, super skinny, super popular, the girl that gets everything she's ever wanted. She betrayed her friend multiple times. She becomes king of the fucking world. I was like, like what are we even doing? Like it's so bad. I was like, so be popular and
everything will come to you.
And be white and blonde and be popular, and then you're good. But again, it's very real life. Very much like the I was gonna say the Trump song, the Wizard song. Where he's like, it doesn't matter if you put me in jail or you tell everyone I'm a fraud. They want to believe what they want to believe. So he's like, and
a
and
true
it's
Republican.
I was like, the world, it's like once you get a person that says the things you want to hear, that's it. Even if that person eventually says, I was joking, they're like, yeah, but I still like what you said.
Yeah, but you said it before, so it's okay.
Yeah, and I liked it. So therefore, the idea of you is going to exist, and so I didn't like the whole self-sacrifice kind of thing at the end that she did, and because the ending was very just kind of back and forth. Like she's good, and then next thing you know, she's like, "I'll never do a good deed again." And it was like, and then 5 minutes later, she's like,
she doesn't do another good deed
myself. She does like the ultimate biggest like good deed of sacrifice. So it was like, and and then this whole like other world just like kind of came out of nowhere. It was like it felt like just a plot kind of
plot device for it.
Plot device. It's like, oh, there's this other world. I was like, then why the fuck aren't we going over there and explore shit? It was like, why are we? If it's that easy to go over there, like, can't we make this?
I have a castle. Let's just go over this castle,
right?
Not only that, why are they walking? She could levitate. She could fly. She don't need a broomstick.
Right?
You could just fly your stay here.
Him. She levitated him easy.
Right.
Easy.
Right.
Maybe she got to be horny. If you're not horny, you can't fly.
You can stay here, Mr. Scarecrow. Let me go fly my ass 5 miles this way and come back around. I'll tell you what's the nearest part we can go to.
Exactly.
And
Yeah,
I'll be back. Give me 2 minutes. I'll be back. Just stay here.
Yeah.
Don't move.
Don't move. It's like fine. Yeah, but yeah, so it's a lot of people have issues with the ending. I think mine
was supposed to be the good one. She's supposed to be redeemed and shown to be good, and that's not what
I think that's what people were expecting. I think people were expecting like this like happy ending, and it wasn't, and to me it's like, well, Glinda was gonna be good. I was like, yeah, but she just did bad things the whole time. Like Mama Bear said, Glinda is the true bad witch. Yeah, like she she wasn't full on evil, but she was heartbroken that she did bad thing. Whenever she was offered like, oh, here, you can get what you want, she like threw Elphaba under the bus.
Yeah.
From the beginning, she was like always like making fun of Elphaba, even giving her the hat was making fun of her, so it was like, were you friends? Are you sure? Like at no point. And I'm like, oh, you're like Elphaba thought you were friends. Yeah, it was
Kind of
definitely one
toxic friend.
sided.
She made fun of the professor because the professor couldn't say her name properly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
how can it be Linda?"
yeah. She sent a teenager to eliminate the competition. Elphaba just wanted to roll in the hay.
Exactly. That's all she was. She's like, look, give me 5 minutes. That's all I'm asking.
I
Yeah.
love that. Roll in the hay. Good job.
Exactly.
I like that.
Exactly.
That's a good. That's a good. I like that.
Yeah, yeah. So
You know what I
yeah.
also like how this Tin Man,
Mhm.
after he became the Tin Man, he broke down that door with the axe. I was waiting to have him say, "Here's Johnny."
Here's Tinny.
Yeah, here's Teddy. Yeah, because he chopped it down. I'm like, is that The Shining? Is Jack Nicholson coming out of that?
Yeah, yeah. Did Stephen King direct this one too? Did he write the book?
You did everything else. You might as well.
Right now. Yeah, yeah. So I don't know. But yeah, man. Yeah, it was just a little frustrating for me at the end.
Yeah.
Anything else that we might have missed? Any goods, any bads that you guys wanted to bring up before we move on?
Do you guys think they're walking off into the void or whatever? You think they're gonna continue it? And like not a miniseries, another a movie about it, like a continuation since there's nothing really out there.
I think there's another book, right? I think they made another book. I could be wrong.
I don't know
I don't
about
really know.
anything about this. That's why I'm asking. But what do you
I was
guys
like,
think?
she's gonna meet Loki, and then we're gonna get it all in Secret Wars.
Right? Yeah.
Bring
Already
it all
know it is.
together. Yeah.
Owen Wilson's gonna be driving a car. Pachow.
No, I was thinking more of like the Grinch. Like she's on another snowflake or some shit, and they
Oh
she's like, oh,
god.
you're green too.
Oh
you
man.
find out some shit. Yeah, I don't know, but Mama Bear would know. I feel like Mama Bear would know. But I thought I saw there's another book.
I feel like there's 4.
Another
Isn't there
story.
4?
Is there? Damn.
Mama Bear, is there 4 books? Am I just making this up? I hope I'm not making this up. But I think there's 4 books.
Yeah.
I was at Half Price Books and I saw 4 of those books in there.
Oh, jeez.
I'm just it's actually 4. Maybe it's more. I don't know.
Right. So if there's another book, I haven't read it. Okay.
Now I gotta look it up now.
I know, right? But the love story was so. I could have done without the sex scene. Even that was stupid. It was like, bro, if you still loved Elphaba, why were you gonna marry Glinda?
Glinda, yeah.
Like one
I
thing's
just
like,
wanna
oh, we're a
make you
couple.
happy.
Like you were gonna marry? Like, shut up. Like, get out of here.
Okay, so you guys see this is what I'm looking at too. Let me see if I can pull this up.
Who do you think
I'm not
Rich's
making
parents
this up.
are? There you go. We just found out. It's Fiero and Elphaba.
Glinda. Elphaba.
You got the fuzziness and then the green.
So look, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Wicked, son of a witch, a lion
Among men, and out of Oz.
Out of Oz.
Yeah, so it's 4. I didn't make that up. Could be right every once in a while.
Yeah. He's green and shaggy, almost like straw. Exactly. He even has the line. Well, at least the Jim Carrey version has the line. It's like when the taxi goes past him. He's like, "It's because I'm green." Still got the racism. All right. All right. Let's move on.
Rated.
Yeah. With our ratings. So now, later, never. Now means you gotta go run and watch it now before it's spoiled later.
Is this mic muted?
Mine?
No. He's good.
I don't hear him.
Oh. Hello.
Me?
You hear anybody?
You hear me?
I can hear you, Brian.
Well, you can
Brandon,
hear him
do you
'cause
hear me?
You're
Yeah,
Brandon,
yeah.
from.
Talk.
I can hear you just fine. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Can you hear him?
I just hear you, man, through my phone.
Yeah. Oh. So close.
Almost there, guys. We are almost
So
there.
Yeah.
Mama Bear said, adding that to my book list. There you go.
Can you still not hear him?
Collection.
No.
Test.
Well, anyway, I say watch it now. Get the experience. I'm jumping ahead. I know.
No, but you
Get
would.
the.
That makes sense.
I say watch it now. Get the experience. There's a lot of people. Both instances, there are people clapping, cheering on, and crying.
Mm,
Get that experience because you don't really get that at home, but you get all the emotions from other people. You could look at other people and like, dude, it's not that bad. Shut up, stop crying, or whatever, or something like that. I say watch it now.
mm. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
You got one now. Go with Brandman. What you giving it?
I was kind of on the fence. I was kind of inclined to say later at first, but I have to agree with Fredo, especially if you watched the previous one. I'd give it a now. It's kind of a reluctant now, but because the movie dragged a little bit too much for my liking and just kind of felt flat, save for Cynthia Erivo basically keeping the entire thing afloat. Um, I I thought it was fine. I thought it was serviceable, but I think it could have been a lot better. But if you watch the first one in the theater, watch this one in the theater too, I'd say.
Mm,
Okay.
But yeah, so yeah, it barely scrapes by with a now.
okay. What about you, Brian?
I'm very much in the same way. Actually, so once again, overall, I like the movie.
Mhm.
So I mean, overall, I actually like the movie, so I have no problems giving it a now. Did it have problems? Yeah, it had problems, and if I'm critiquing it, then I'm going to critique it in those aspects. Of, for my children and the problems I have for other people. I'm going to critique those things. But do I think people should go see it? Yeah, I do think. I think it's a good movie to be able to talk about these things. Do you like this? Does it bother you? Does it not bother you? What do you think are good decisions? What are bad decisions? These are all things that we need to be able to discuss. So, and with that being said, I definitely think it's a now. I think it's a now,
Mhm.
Mm.
especially compared to everything else that was coming out.
Mhm.
Yeah. Man, like for me, I gotta give it a later. I just gotta give it a later. I think if you're a fan, obviously you already seen it. Um, if you're a theater kid, obviously you already seen it probably on Wednesday. But like just movie wise, I feel like it felt flat, predictable, you know, kind of upset, I would say with the ending. Um, you know, yeah. I mean, overall, I would probably give it a later, but you know, visually, sound wise, oh man, go watch this on like Adobe and just have those like stellar freaking audio. You know, if you're a fan of it. But I mean, I get what Brian's saying. Definitely like there's important things it talks about, but I feel like it undercuts it a lot though too with some of them.
No, it,
So
it does, and then we could talk about
yeah,
those things because it brings
yeah,
up things that you want to have
uh,
the discussion with.
yeah,
Say, hey, do you
hmm
understand why this is not a good thing? Do you
yeah,
understand why you should never feel this way? Do you understand that
hmm
being good in itself is good enough? You don't have to worry
hmm
about everyone else. And you know what? As a strong girl, a young woman growing up, you don't need a guy. And if he's there, it's there.
yeah,
But you don't ever have to be in competition with your best friend for a guy because there's other guys in the world.
yeah,
Yeah, but
yeah.
I can have that conversation, And
hmm
if I didn't have the opportunity, you know, then when it comes up, you never talk about it.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, but
That's kind
yeah.
of backhanded compliment. So yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. I just, especially like out of all the movies that I've seen in the last 4 weeks, like this is the one I was probably most anticipated to see. You're most excited to see, and
Same.
I think I on Letterbox I gave it my lowest. I think I gave it a 3 out of 5. All the other ones I gave like 3.5 or I gave one a 4. So I was kind of like disappointed a little bit. With overall, it's still a good movie. Don't get me wrong. I still had fun with it, but I think if you're kind of like whatever about it, I think watching at home might be for the better.
Okay.
But but obviously the box office says otherwise because the box office, holy crap. So I know leading up to it, Brian said 150 mil domestically, and it's not going to do big international. And spot on, man. It was 147 million domestically, which is that is crazy. That is crazy. Another 76 million international, which is not bad, for 223. Like you said, $250 million the first weekend. The first weekend.
It's ranked 18th in the entire world with one weekend.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And you know what? And we're going into Thanksgiving. I'm going to guarantee we're going to come here on next Monday, and this movie is going to be, I'm going to say, top 12.
Yeah. I mean, I can see it getting another like
I could see it.
Top 12, top 13. Right around there.
Yeah. I can probably see it getting another like 100 mil over this weekend.
Could you not is 100 million domestically out of the question, and then 30 international? Is that out of the question?
Yeah, no, I mean that's right up the alley. Yeah. So I mean, you're talking about going into this after the second weekend, it's gonna be damn near a half 500. Yeah. So, but I wonder if it's gonna have legs going past the holiday weekend because of all of the reviews that's coming out. So. But again, look at Fredo. Fredo's gonna go see it a third time because his wife and daughter loved it. So
because not everyone is a minority person or a person who's a color or a person who is going to look at it that way. They're going to look at it totally different. And if most of the world doesn't see those problems because they don't have they never face those things, then it won't be a big thing to them. And that'll make this movie even better in their eyes. So I mean, I gotta see on both sides. I think this is still going to make a lot more money in the next couple of weeks because even with Zootopia is not going to do an unbelievable domestic number. It's going to do an unbelievable international number, but if that means Wicked does $30 million next weekend and domestically we're still talking about $120 million. The second weekend, $110 million. The second, like those are huge numbers, and I think that could be what you're getting.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Yeah, but so those are the money numbers, and then look at the critics over on Rotten Tomatoes. We'll start with the audience because I feel that's more predictable. We got 10,000 in one weekend. 10,000 plus verified. That's crazy, man. That's so many people. It's at a 95% with 10,000 plus people with the audience.
Damn.
95.
Damn,
that's wild. With the critics, 278, which is about normal for a big movie over opening weekend. 69% with the critics. So,
I'm probably at 75.
Yeah.
72.
Yeah, right around there.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So but the audience, man, which is again not surprising. All the theater, fanboys and Broadway fanboys and Ariana Grande they fandom, the fanboys, but so yeah, it's you got a lot of people. That's crazy. That's such a big number. But yeah. Anything else you guys want to bring up before we finish this one up?
Glinda was good looking. Elphaba was also good looking. Just saying. Green didn't bother me. It didn't bother me in Star Trek when Kirk was with that green girl. Didn't bother me then. Don't bother me now. I'm just letting you know.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, cool. Yeah. But yeah, that is our review for the Wicked for Good movie. I know Fredo had to leave a little early, kind of had some technical issues, so appreciate Fredo coming and joining us. Always appreciate the OG coming in, hanging out. But yeah, thank you guys for coming in, hanging out with us. Mama Bear, giving us all the good tidbits, info for the play. But we want to hear from you guys. So if you're watching on the replay, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, leave a comment. Let us know what you think about Wicked for Good. You like it, you hate it, any issues that you might have had with it. Leave a comment, let us know. And we appreciate all you guys coming in, hanging out with us in the live chat as well. We're going to move on to our next topic for the night. So everyone, stick with us.